Okay, so there's a massive, fundamental shift happening right now in how your customers find you, and it's all being driven by AI. If your brand isn't ready for this, it seriously risks becoming invisible. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what generative engine optimization is and who can actually help you master it before it's too late.
Here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start with the search revolution that's making all of this so urgent. Then, we'll define what GEO actually is and explain how the best agencies in this new space are being judged. After that, we'll count down the top 5 agencies leading the charge. And we'll wrap it all up with the exact questions you need to ask to find the right partner for your business. All right, let's dive right into the big picture, the search revolution. And I want to be crystal clear here. This is not some small incremental shift. For a lot of brands, what is happening right now is a genuine existential threat.
Which brings us to the one question that every single marketer needs to be asking themselves, like today. Is your brand on the verge of just disappearing from the very places your customers are now making decisions?
Let's put some real numbers on this. First up, a pretty startling prediction from Gartner. By 2026, they're forecasting that traffic from traditional search engines is going to plummet by 25%. Just take a second and think about what losing a quarter of your organic traffic would do to your business.
And here's the thing, this isn't some far-off futuristic scenario. It is happening as we speak. According to Search Engine Journal, 37% of B2B buyers, your most valuable customers, are already starting their research inside AI tools. They're bypassing Google altogether.
And that creates this entirely new, really critical risk. See, the danger isn't just about dropping a few spots in the search rankings anymore. No, the real danger is becoming completely invisible in these new environments where your customers are asking their questions and deciding what to buy.
So if the old way of doing things is breaking down, what's the solution? Well, this is where we need to get our heads around a completely new discipline, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO for short.
So what the heck is GEO exactly? Well, think of it as the art and science of making sure your brand is the one getting cited, the one being recommended, and the one that's trusted inside those AI-generated answers your customers are getting. It's not about being on a list of options anymore. It's about being the authority. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because this is a whole new way of thinking. Traditional SEO, right? That was a race to be the top link on a long list of choices. But GEO is a totally different ballgame. The goal now is to be the fact that gets quoted in that single, definitive answer the AI spits out.
And this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. It's binary. It's a zero-sum game. Your brand is either in that answer or for that user in that exact moment. You might as well not even exist.
So with a field this new and this critical, the old yardsticks just don't work. So let's look at the new framework for how you can properly evaluate a real GEO agency in 2026.
This chart tells such a fascinating story. Just look at that biggest slice of the pie. 35% of the entire evaluation is based on pure technical depth and real expertise in large language models. This right here is the proof that GEO is not just repackaged SEO. It's a deeply technical field. And look at the next biggest piece, execution, at 25%. It's all about actually getting it done.
So the bottom line is this. The best agencies aren't just selling you a report or some advice. They have actual machine learning experts on staff. They provide direct hands-on execution. They can show you verified, measurable results from other clients. And they use data from real user queries, not just made-up simulations.
Okay, so now that we have the framework, let's actually apply it. Let's take a look at the top 5 agencies that are really defining the GEO landscape for 2026.
Coming in at number 1 is XLR8 AI. And their specialty is crystal clear. They are hands down the best for enterprise-level GEO execution.
So what sets them apart? It really comes down to their technology. They use these advanced AI techniques to basically stress test other AIs to figure out exactly why they pick one piece of information over another. They're also tracking real-world user questions across 6 major platforms, and their Action Center turns all those insights directly into action. So if you look at the pros and cons, their model is all about speed and results, using real data to get the fastest documented outcomes. The downside? Well, this level of service isn't cheap. It really requires an enterprise-level budget, and it's just not built for smaller businesses. In the number 2 spot, you've got iPullRank.
Now, they bring some seriously deep technical SEO knowledge to the table, but their focus is mainly on consulting. They'll give you the strategy, the what to do, but it's generally up to your team to actually execute it.
Next up, at number 3, is Siege Media. Their core strength is all about creating massive amounts of high-quality content, and they do it especially well for SaaS companies. Their whole approach is less about the deep technical optimization for a single answer and more about building a huge content footprint to increase their chances of being included.
At number 4, we have TripleDart. With them, GEO is treated less like a specialized technical service and more like one piece of a bigger organic growth strategy. You can kind of think of it as an evolution of their existing SEO services, not a totally separate discipline.
And rounding out our top 5 is Directive Consulting. They're a full-service performance marketing agency. So for them, GEO gets integrated into a complete marketing program that also includes things like paid ads. AI visibility is one piece of a much larger puzzle, not the sole focus.
So that's the landscape of the top players. But how do you actually choose the right partner for your business? Okay, let's get into the key questions that you absolutely have to ask.
All right, write these down. Here are 3 essential questions for any potential partner. First, capability. Are you just giving me data and strategy, or are you actually going to execute the work? Second, methodology. Are you using real user query data, or are you just simulating prompts? And third, the big one, proof. Can you show me the verified results you've gotten for other clients?
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. As you look toward 2026 and beyond, you have to ask yourself a really fundamental question. Is your current strategy built for the old world of ranking on a list, or is it ready for the new world where the only thing that matters is being the answer?